Hey songwriters, welcome back to At Home Songwriting. My name is Chad Shank, and if you're new here, I am a songwriter, a music producer, and a songwriting coach and teacher. I have been teaching songwriting for over 10 years, and I've worked in various aspects of the music industry. I've worked in music production and recording studios. I've had my own record label. I have also had some of my songs synced and licensed to sync, worked in radio for a long time. And now I just love teaching songwriting and helping you write pro-level songs at home. So today we're talking about setting lyrics to music. So a lot of you have commented, and I hear from people that I coach in my online membership, also some of my mentees that I mentor in my mentorship program. A lot of people struggle a little bit with setting lyrics to music because a lot of people like to write lyrics first and then set them to music and try to figure out how does the music fit it. So in this video, I am going to show you some of the thought process and some of the ways that you should be thinking about lyrics and the way that you should be thinking about melody. So it's going to be less of a kind of step-by-step process. I'm going to be working on some videos that do that because I want to show you from start to finish how I would write a song, lyrics first, and then putting music to it. But that's not this video. This video first, I want you to start thinking about the relationship between lyrics and music. And there's some things that you maybe haven't thought of, or maybe some concepts that might not have popped into your mind before. So I'm hopefully going to open your mind up to start thinking about words and music and words and melody in a different way, because they're kind of two sides to the same coin. And I'll tell you more about that coming up. All right, so diving in here, as we're talking about setting lyrics to music, I want you to remember this saying that I've said in other videos before, and that is emotion is everything. So say it with me. Emotion is everything. So what do I mean by this? Every decision we make in our songwriting should be in order to communicate an intended emotion. So any of the tools that you use, any of the lyric tools, any of the melody tools, any of your chords, any of your groove, all of those decisions should be made through the lens of how does this support the emotion that I'm trying to communicate. So emotion is everything. And this comes down to the concept of prosody. So what the heck is prosody? Well, prosody is the way that structure supports the emotional content and the emotion of the lyric. So I'll say that again. So prosody is how the structure, the melody, the chords, the lyrical rhythms, how the groove, how all of the structural things support your message and support the emotion that you're trying to communicate. So prosody is ensuring that all of your elements are working together and they align for a unified purpose. So prosody means ensuring that all the elements of a song, the chords, the melody, the rhythm, the lyrics, and the structure are all dancing together to serve a purpose. And cohesion is key. So the most fundamental principle of songwriting is that every component should complement and reinforce each other. So how do you know what you should be reinforcing? Well, that is emotion. So again, always keep in mind, how does this feel? How do my decisions make the song feel? And emotion is where all of the elements work together harmoniously and the song effectively conveys its intended emotion and the intended message. So if you're running out of ideas, I have 23 songwriting exercises in a guide that you can download for free. So I'm going to just take a minute to remind you, go to athomesongwritingcourses.com, 23 songwriting exercises. Some of these are melody writing exercises as well. So go cop this guide. If you don't have it already, you need to get it. It's absolutely free. So check that out. Now, not only is emotion everything, but when we're talking about lyrics and music, rhythm is everything. So say it with me. Rhythm is everything. Rhythm is everything. Rhythm is everything. Yes, I'm being cheesy. That's fine. But I want you to remember this because rhythm is so important to your songwriting. So lyric rhythm is melodic rhythm. So the lyrical rhythm is the rhythm of your melody. And you can say it backwards too. The melodic rhythm is the rhythm of your lyric. So there's no breaking these two things apart. And a lot of songwriters look at melody and lyric being two separate things, but this is where the mindset thing comes in. I want you to start thinking about the rhythm as being exactly the same thing between lyrics and melody. And this is where that magic happens in songs, where the writer understands this relationship and can use it to the advantage to support the emotion and the content of the song. So if you look at it this way, this kind of looks like the MasterCard logo, but it's not. You have lyrics and melody, and where they come together is in that rhythm. And there's really no way to divorce those two things from each other, right? They're married together no matter what, but you get to decide how good that marriage is, right? Are they complementing each other or are they fighting all the time? And I'll tell you, I hear a lot of newer writers, their lyric rhythm and their melody, they're not really like dancing together very well. It's not a very happy marriage. So I want to give you pointers on how to start thinking about this in your own writing. So if we look at Mary Had a Little Lamb, right? So what's happening in the lyrical rhythm? So the lyrical rhythm of Mary Had a Little Lamb is do-de 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 do, do-de do-de do. Do-de 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 do, do-de do-de do. So that's what we call common meter. So there's a pattern there, right? Mary had a little lamb, fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, lamb was sure to go, right? Or another way to look at that is the strength of the syllables. So strong or weak syllables. So strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong. So lyric has its own rhythm no matter what you write. So why does this matter so much when you are writing lyrics first? Well, the reason is because a lot of times we write lyrics without ever considering or thinking about how the rhythm is being set up. So we're just writing whatever we want to say, and the rhythms are all over the place. They don't really match. There's no pattern to it. There's nothing holding it together from a structural standpoint besides the content, right? So then when you go to set it to music, you struggle singing it because you rush syllables, you're scrunching syllables, you're misstressing syllables. You can't get it to sing the same way each time you sing it. And ultimately, it's killing your song, right? So, how do you fix this if you're a lyric first writer? Well, if you write lyrics first, you need to think about these syllable patterns and you need to think about the rhythm. So, one of the things about lyrical rhythm is the stress patterns. So, aligning your stress patterns for natural flow means matching stress syllables in lyrics with stress notes in the melody because that will create a natural and intuitive musical flow and it will make the song feel more organic and expressive. So, what does this mean? So this means you don't want to say organic and expressive. You want to say organic and expressive. Da 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 da. Organic and expressive. So you're keeping that natural flow from the lyric to the melody. And melody, remember, is pitch and rhythm. Lyrics are syllables and rhythm. So melody and lyrics come together in rhythm. So organic and expressive. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. right? So you want to keep that natural flow so you're not misstressing words. Proper alignment ensures that important words and phrases stand out, and it improves the listener's ability to understand and connect emotionally with your song. So it's very important to not misstress things or make them feel awkward because it pulls the listener out of the spell of your song. Instead of thinking about what you're saying or instead of feeling what you're saying, they're actually start to think about it. And once they start to think, you've lost them. So you want to make sure that you're stressing your lyrics correctly so you can enhance that clarity and make sure you keep the emotion. And if you strengthen the melodic shape, when stress patterns in lyrics and melody are in sync, the song's phrasing will mirror the natural speech, making it more singable and also more engaging. So how do you work with rhythm then? So I know you're like Chad, you've been saying rhythm is the key between lyrics and the key between melody. So how do you work with it? Well, you have to remember that rhythm shapes the song. So we said rhythm is everything, emotion is everything, and rhythm shapes the song. So rhythm provides the structural foundation for both the melody and the lyric. So it influences the song's overall form and movement. So if you write lyrics and you haven't thought of the rhythmic implications or the rhythmic pattern, a lot of times you're going to have a really messy sounding song that feels like it's just the start of a song and it's not really finished. It's not really refined because a refined rhythm and an intentional rhythm makes the song better. So lyrics and musical rhythms, again, must align. The rhythm of the lyric should complement the musical rhythm, with the first line setting the emotion and the expectation of the rest of the section. So I'll read that last part again. The first line sets the motion and the expectation for the rest of your section. So what do I mean by this? Well, your first line gives your listener a pattern. And when you have a pattern, when you have a rhythmic pattern, you can either repeat it or you can contrast it. So that means you can either repeat it exactly or you can do something different. And songs, really good songs, have a definitive pattern of repeating that rhythm and alternating that rhythm. So where does that rhythm come from? It comes from that very first line of your lyric, because that's giving you that very first rhythmic motif or that very first rhythmic pattern that you can use to build your section. So controlling movement with variation is very key here. So you adjust the phrase lengths. You can either match or mismatch the lines, and you can mix and match rhythmic patterns, either duple or triple, and that can create emotion through balance, tension, and also momentum in a song. So we've talked about duple and triple before, but what does that mean? So duple means a rhythm that's caused by a pattern of two. So that means a dum-da. So dum-da, 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 that's two. That's a duple pattern. So a triplet or a triple pattern is a three event pattern or three rhythmic pattern. So it would be like da da dum da da dum da da dum da da dum dum da da dum da da dum da da dum. So there's three. 1, 2, 3. So that's the difference there. So you can play with the rhythm in your song. Natural, the way we speak, has varying rhythm patterns, but you want to be aware of it and also conscious of it when you're writing, because that helps you set up these patterns. So if emotion is everything, then, and your lyrics and your melody align, if you align it all together, you can align what's happening rhythmically to the emotion of your song. So the rhythm, the shape, and the sound of the lyrics should naturally fit the melody, preserving the shape of the language and emphasizing key words with sustained notes. So matching musical and lyrical accents enhances the meaning, while considering the key color and the emotional tone also helps reinforce the song's message. So what does that mean? In plain English, that means your musical and lyrical rhythm should be communicating the content in a way that makes sense. And then your chords should be setting the mood and really coloring what's happening in the lyric and the melody. So your song, again, is really not your chords. It's really what's happening in the lyrics and melody. So when we're talking about melodic rhythm, you can use different tools to shape that. So start with a groove. You can use a drum loop, a metronome, or tapping your foot to establish a rhythmic foundation. And then start experimenting with either existing or dummy lyrics to find the best fit for the lyrics and the melody. And then you can use other counterpoint techniques in the music. So you can use parallel, similar, oblique, contrary motion to add interest. And then repetition and contrast help maintain that engagement and memorability. So, what are we talking about here? So, we're talking about if you are not used to writing lyrics to rhythm, sometimes it's helpful to write lyrics to a drum loop or write lyrics to a groove because it will force you to think in a rhythmic pattern that fits the natural shape, fits the natural shape, fits the natural shape, right? Da, 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 da. So that's your rhythm, right? Da, 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 dee, da, 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 dee, da, 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 dee, da. So that was AABA, right? So you can build a section based on alternating rhythmic patterns. So if you think about this from the start, right? If you balance your lyrics and your melody from the very start of your songwriting process, whether you start with the lyric or the melody, you want to make sure that they're fitting together seamlessly. So if you're starting with lyrics, speak them rhythmically to a beat to find the natural phrasing. If you're starting with a melody, listen for hints about the lyrical meaning and then experiment with real or nonsense words to find the right fit. And when you're writing lyrics, be sure to use vivid imagery and sense details to help strengthen the storytelling and pull us in for that emotional impact. So the pattern of rhythm lines matters in your song. So whether we're talking about melody or we're talking about lyric, the pattern of rhythm matters. So what do we mean by this? So there's a song by Mitchell Tenpenny, and of course with YouTube, I can't play you the song, but I'll kind of sing it in a bad way so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But this is the very first verse. So I'll read through the lyrics first. It says, "We don't have each other's numbers anymore. We don't make any plans Friday night. And I won't know you when you're turning 64, but nobody knew you better at 25." And when you sing it, it's kind of like, "We don't have each other's numbers anymore. We don't make any plans Friday night. And I won't know you when you're turning 64, but nobody knew you better at 25." So do you see that there's a rhythmic pattern and there's a rhythmic motif, right? So you have line one, the "we don't have each other's numbers anymore." That's establishing a rhythm. And the next three lines, "we don't make any plans Friday night." 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So we don't have each other's numbers anymore. Da 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 da. We don't have each other's numbers anymore. Da 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 da. And then we get to the second half of the verse, and it says, "And I won't know you when you're turning 64," is almost exactly like da da da, or "we don't have each other's numbers anymore. And I won't know you when you're turning 64," right? Do you hear that similarity? And then in the next piece, da 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 da. So you have that same kind of motif with a long line and then three short melodic phrases. So, what am I trying to tell you with this verse then? What I'm trying to say is even when you're writing lyric first, you should be looking for, thinking about, and incorporating these lyrical patterns into your lyric. So we don't know if these writers wrote the melody first. We don't know if they wrote the lyrics first. And most of the time you can't really tell, right? And that's kind of the name of the game. That's kind of what you want to do is you don't really want people to be able to point out how you wrote it. You want them to fit together so well that it seems like there's no other way that they should be. Um, so when you're writing lyrics, I want you to start thinking and feeling the rhythm of your lines and being able to sing it in rhythm as you're writing. So we don't have each other's numbers anymore. We don't make any plans Friday night. And I won't know you when you're turning 64. But nobody knew you better at 25. Do you see how there's that pattern of long, short, 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 long, short, short, short? So if you were writing these lyrics first, you would fit each part of this verse into that same rhythm. So once we get to the chorus of this song, and there is a pre-chorus, but I wanted to show you the verse first and then this chorus. So the chorus goes, "'Cause we got spring break '08 down in Pensacola, drunk and singing breakfast at Tiffany's. Yeah, we got so high first time back of your Corolla. Baby, don't you stop kissing me, kissing me. I know we don't have a future anymore, but damn, we got history." So notice this section now, instead of going long, short, 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 it goes short, 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 medium, long. So it's contrasting the rhythm from the verse to this section. So we got spring break '08. Those are two syllable phrases down in Pensacola. Da, 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 da. Notice I color coded these lines. So the yellow lines are two, a pattern of two. So it's bop, 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 down in Pensacola, back of your Corolla, da, 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 da. See that? So it's down in Pensacola. So that's six syllables now. So we got spring break '08 down in Pensacola, drunk and singing breakfast at Tiffany's. So down in Pensacola, drunk and singing breakfast at Tiffany's. So that green line is actually a rhythmic extension of the down in Pensacola. So do you see how there's a pattern? And then that pattern repeats again for the second half of the chorus before you have two lines that don't match anything, but that's where your hook is, because that leads up to the "I know we don't have a future anymore, but damn, we got history." So that's the hook line. That's what really pulls us in. So do you see what I'm trying to say here with rhythm? Whether they wrote this melody first or lyric first, there is a rhythmic pattern there that is the same. The lyric rhythm is the melodic rhythm. The melodic rhythm is the lyric rhythm. And I don't think many songwriters think about this when they're writing songs. So when this video is over, after you like and subscribe, I want you to go listen to Mitchell Tenpenny's song, "We Got History," because I butchered it the way that I was singing it. But listen for the rhythmic patterns and how the lyrics and the melody are married perfectly. So to kind of look at how do you then think about this with three quick tips. Well, the first is you want your melody to match the natural rhythm of the lyrics. So match the melody to that natural flow of how the lyrics sound. So pay attention to the stressed and unstressed syllables, pay attention to the note length, the phrase structure, and also the spacing to maintain the natural shape of the language. And if you're setting lyrics to a pre-existing melody, you have to ensure that the words fit the melody's rhythm and the melody's contour. So it goes back and forth. It's vice versa. Also, the next tip is let the sounds of the words shape the melody. Let the sounds of the words shape the melody. Do you hear how I accented that the same as I read it? Let the sounds of the words shape the melody. Let the sounds of the words shape the melody. And experiment with different vowel sounds using dummy lyrics to find out what works best, and place your important words on the strong beats and consider how consonant sounds influence the melodic flow. So let the sounds of the da, da 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 da. Let the bounds of the birds ba da da da. Da 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 da. And that's a way that you can practice this too, right? Take lines and just sing the rhythm. Just practice singing rhythms of words, because this is how you get so much better. And this is what separates pro songs from amateur songs. The next quick tip is connect your melody to chord tones. So once you get kind of a melody started, you get a rhythm started, you kind of start singing it, use chord tones or the notes that are in the chords that you're playing with. Use that as a starting point to craft a melody that aligns with your song's emotion and the harmonic structure. You can utilize non-chord tones for melody independence, but you can also explore counterpoint techniques and ensure that the melody enhances the emotional impact of the lyrics. So again, I want you to realize that words, melody, chords, they are all not separate things that you somehow tape together, right? They all support each other and they're all there for emotional reasons. So make sure that when you are writing, you are thinking about how does this support my emotion? How does it support what I'm trying to say? So that is really what I wanted to talk to you about today. Again, I'm working on some other videos where I'm going to show you from start to finish, how do I go from a lyric and how do I write rhythmically, lyrically, and then how do I set that to a melody? But the thing to remember are those rhythmic patterns. So go back, listen to We Got History by Mitchell Tenpenny, and I want you to pay attention to where rhythms repeat. And you'll see that the lyrical rhythm repeats and the melodic rhythm repeats. And some of you will say, well, yeah, but that's really structured. I don't want to write really structured. Why would I write really structured? Well, the reason why you would do this is because you don't want your listener lost in the structure. You want them feeling what you're saying. And if you don't think about how the structure is supporting what you're saying, you're going to lose your listener. And you might be losing your listener in your songs right now because you're not being intentional and you're not being conscious of how the rhythm is affecting what you're saying. So I hope this makes a little bit of sense to you. I will definitely have more videos coming up, and there's more videos on this channel, but I appreciate you so much. Go to athomesongwritingcourses.com, connect with me, attend one of my free workshops where each month we go over certain topics. You can meet other songwriters, and I've got a lot of free courses where you can learn more about how to make your writing more pro level at home. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.